Hello again, everyone. My name's Amy, and today we're leaving Scotland and heading to Westeros, to Winterfell specifically. I mean, we're making Game of Thrones inspired recipes now, so it's only proper that we kick it all off at Winterfell, right? We're starting at the very beginning, Book 1 or Season 1, and we're feasting on honeyed chicken with Jon Snow, stuck at the lower table during the feast when King Robert comes to visit. But I don't think I'll be feeding half of it to a direwolf, because this chicken tastes too good to give up. And since we can't just have chicken for dinner, we're also going to whip up some delicious side dishes to go along with it, so let's get cooking. Start by preheating the oven to 450 degrees, and now let's work on this chicken. We need a whole chicken for this dish, but the prep is ultra simple. Pat the chicken dry with some paper towels or a clean kitchen towel. If the chicken's wet, the butter's just going to run right off, and we don't want that. When the chicken skin is dry, melt 2 tablespoons of butter and brush it all over the chicken, including the legs and the wings. If your chicken is cold, you'll see the butter just hardening up, kind of like a coating on the skin, but that's perfectly fine. Just keep going until you brushed all the butter on the chicken. Place the chicken in a roasting pan, and you can see here that I'm tucking the wings under the chicken, and I also tied the legs together with some kitchen twine. This is to keep them from overcooking in the oven, since this will be roasting for a while. Sprinkle the chicken with salt, and that is all of the prep for this bird. Roast this in the oven at 450 for 45 to 60 minutes, or until the internal temperature of the thickest part of the bird is 165 degrees. I needed the entire hour, but your oven and the size of your chicken may vary. You also may want to pour some chicken broth or water in the bottom of the pan, which helps prevent the bird from drying out, because we definitely do not want dried chicken. About 40 minutes before the chicken is finished, we'll get going on our honey sauce, as well as prepping our side dishes. First, for the sauce, we'll start with a tiny bit of choppy prep. We need a teaspoon or 2 of chopped mint, and this can be fresh or dried. I have fresh mint here, and we just need a rough chop, but we do want the pieces to be relatively small. Now over to the oven and add 1 cup of apple cider vinegar to a small saucepan. Add a tablespoon of butter, 4 ounces of dried currants if you have them, but if not, you can use raisins like I'm using here. You could even use cranberries, although each will flavor the sauce slightly differently. Next, add the chopped mint and 2/3 of a cup of honey. Stir this up and then heat it over medium heat until it boils. When the sauce is boiling, turn the heat down to low and simmer this for 30 minutes, stirring it occasionally to prevent it from sticking. While that sauce is going, let's also whip up some mashed potatoes, because no feast is complete without some kind of potato something or other. Scrub the potatoes really well if you're keeping the skins on them. I'm keeping them because I love the potato skins in mashed potatoes, but also because I think it looks a little more old style in the end, and it'll match that whole rustic chicken feast thing we got going on. Chop up the potatoes, and you can chop them up as small or as large as you want, since we're going to be mashing them up anyway, but the smaller the pieces, the quicker they'll cook. You can see I just made rough chunks of a similar size, about 1 inch or thereabout maybe. Cover the potato pieces with water and a healthy pinch of salt and boil them until they are fork tender. Okay, next side dish. While the potatoes and sauce are bubbling away, let's make the first of 2 veggie dishes. We're making bacon wrapped asparagus with a honey balsamic glaze. And that sounds way more complicated than it actually is. Take a bunch of asparagus and portion them out into roughly equal little bunches with about 5 to 6 asparagus spears each. Then wrap each bunch up with a slice of thick cut bacon. Place each bacon asparagus bundle on a parchment-lined baking tray with the bacon ends under the bundle so it doesn't unwrap as it bakes. And the next step, I'm sorry to say I forgot to hit record. However, grab a little bowl and melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Add in a little garlic powder and some salt and stir that up. Then brush the butter onto the bundles, starting with the asparagus tops and bottoms, anywhere not covered with the bacon. If you still have butter left after that, just start brushing it on the bacon too. Then pop this in the oven above the chicken and bake it for anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, or until that bacon is nice and crispy and the asparagus is cooked through. At this point, the honey sauce is finished simmering, and you can see it's reduced by about half, which is exactly what we want. Move this off the heat and set it to the side for now. Our potatoes are also nice and tender, so let's get these off the heat as well. Drain those potatoes, return them to the big pot, and then just mash them up. You can use a manual masher like this one, a fork, anything that works. I added a chunk of butter, maybe about 2 or 3 tablespoons, and I poured in some milk. For seasonings, I only used salt and pepper to taste and just mashed everything until it was creamy, adding bits of milk until I was happy with the consistency. You can add cheese, cream, other seasonings, anything you like to make your potatoes however you like them. When these are done, cover them and set them to the side to stay nice and warm. For the balsamic glaze, I'll walk you through it really quick because I spaced the record button again. Sorry. So there's 2 ways to make this. You can use the stove or you can use your microwave. The ratio is a simple 1-to-1. I added a 1/3 cup of balsamic vinegar and a 1/3 cup of honey. Add a dash of garlic powder and pop this in the microwave. Heat it at 50% power for 10 minutes and stir it often so it doesn't boil over. If you use a stovetop, add everything to a small pan and simmer it for 10 minutes until it thickens. A very simple balsamic glaze, and it tastes incredible. At this point, the chicken is now done, and look at that bird. This looks perfect, nice and golden, and it smells divine. It's amazing that it was just butter and salt, nothing fancy, but this chicken is defined by the sauce. However, the chicken does need to sit for about 10 minutes to rest before we can do anything else with it. So now that everything else is pretty much finished, let's take just a few minutes and whip up our very last side. These glazed carrots take like 10 minutes to make since I have home canned carrots, which is just right since our chicken is resting. In a medium pan, add about 3 tablespoons of butter, a 1/3 cup of brown sugar, and a small pinch of salt. Heat this over medium-low heat until the butter is melty and bubbly and the sugar is nice and liquid like this. Add in the carrots, and this is a pint's worth of pre-cooked canned carrots. You can use store-bought canned carrots, or you can boil some sliced fresh carrots in a small pan until they're cooked through while everything else is cooking. Toss the carrots in the brown sugar and butter sauce and cook them for about 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. And that's it! Brown sugar glazed carrots in minutes. Whew, what a kitchen marathon. But now we are really hungry and this kitchen smells like a feast for a king. So let's finish up this beautiful chicken and have some dinner. Plate the chicken on a serving platter or even just a regular old plate like this one and spoon about half of the honey sauce all over the chicken. Serve the rest of the sauce on the side as extra gravy. And very last, drizzle the balsamic glaze on the asparagus bundles and serve. And here is our king's feast. This spread of food is just beautiful and all of it would look right at home at Winterfell. It looks just like a medieval feast and I am so here for that. But I have to say, this chicken is the star, the absolute star of the show. For a very long time, I always thought that sweet should not go with meat because meat is supposed to be savory. The only exception was barbecue because, well, barbecue sauce, but lately I've really been embracing the sweet and meat thing, fruits and meats like cooking ribs with apple juice, pork with raspberry sauce, stuffing turkeys with apples and onions. And every time the sweet and the meat is so delicious that I am kicking myself that I didn't start cooking this way a lot sooner. And this one is no different. This may actually be one of my favorite sweet and meat combinations now. This honey sauce has a light raisiny flavor and that particular honey sweetness. The mint is there, but it's in the background as more of a supporting character, and it has the tang of the vinegar, but it doesn't taste like vinegar at all. It's just nice and tangy and sweet and raisiny with a hint of mint coolness. And on the chicken, it's perfect. I am so ready to try making this with all kinds of dried stuff now. I'm gonna make this with currants, dried cranberries, cherries, apricots, mango. Yeah, I'm gonna be a fruit and honey cooking fool. Luckily, my husband and I both love roast chicken. The sides go beautifully with the chicken. The sweet and buttery carrots, the balsamic tangy asparagus with that smoky, meaty, bacony flavor, the creamy potatoes with their savory saltiness and peppery bite. This is a fabulous medieval feast. It's just lovely. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, maybe leave me a comment below. I love reading and responding to comments and it helps my channel to grow so I can keep making delicious dishes for you every week. Stay tuned for more Game of Thrones inspired recipes each Wednesday. And come spend time in my kitchen on Sundays because I have another comforting home cooked recipe to share every week. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you back here next Wednesday for another Game of Thrones inspired recipe. And you don't want to miss it because we are heading to Harrenhal to snitch some food with Arya. Bye.